Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. The truth rise up. Out of the ashes, somewhere beneath Wayne Manor in the outskirts of Gotham City, comes the political vigilante. I've been talking for the last year about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, but specifically Bitcoin and how powerful it is. We've had numerous people on the show. We've had Christy I from RT. We've had Rosie Tran on the show numerous times. We've had Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert on the show. And lately I've been talking about how Elon Musk and others are deliberately trying to manipulate the price. They're trying to, well, they have made the price come down so they can buy it all up. But here's the thing Max Kaiser said: you can't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. And global adoption is what's going to change it. And what just happened? El Salvador. In a world first, El Salvador makes Bitcoin legal tender. We've talked about how, like, the city of Miami is now accepting Bitcoin. That's how you can pay your city fees or whatever, parking pass, whatever. And the thing that's been discussed, especially by people like Michael Saylor, who he got in a year ago and started to realize it. And when I started paying attention to this last summer, I started to see all these institutional money started coming into it. And if they're coming into it, then that means that they see the power of, and Bitcoin is different than the altcoins because Bitcoin lives on the blockchain. You can't get rid of it. You can't destroy it. You can't shut it down. You can't, it was designed. It's amazing. And so countries are starting, El Salvador is doing this. And El Salvador, they're the central banks. This is the answer to the central banks. And El Salvador has had to been at the mercy of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, which we know is awful. The International Monetary Fund, they've done stuff like, they are part of the reason Ecuador gave up Julian Assange, because they said, we are going to give you a $500 million loan or stimulus, IMF money or whatever, but that might go away if you don't release Julian Assange, right? So the IMF is like one of the major central banks. That's awful. They profit from war. They want people in debt. And so this is El Salvador saying, bye, we're not in that. With 62 out of 84 possible votes, lawmakers voted in favor of the move to create a law to adopt Bitcoin, despite concern about the potential impact on El Salvador's program with the International Monetary Fund. Because here's the thing, the International Monetary Fund can't stop you from using Bitcoin. And when other countries start adopting this, what are you going to do? Because if I have my Bitcoin on a cold wallet and you have your Bitcoin on a cold wallet and you're on the other side of the world, the governments can't stop us from changing that with each other. And when countries start doing this is how it's going to change everything. Because now, if you're someone that has a lot of crypto, you're going to want to go to El Salvador because you can buy and sell things using it. So even if America outlaws it or whatever, okay, but America's not going to outlaw it. They're just going to try to regulate and tax it. Bukele has touted the use of Bitcoin for its potential to help Salvadorians living abroad send remittances back home, while saying the US dollar will also continue as legal tender. They still use the US dollar, but that's the other thing too. America's printed trillions of dollars just in the last year to deal with this pandemic, but that's going to cause hyperinflation. Things are already, the price of gas in LA is $4.20 some cents, $4.25. Everyone's traveling this summer again. Gas always goes up in the summer when everyone's driving. So, and that's, if you're from El Salvador and you're living abroad, let's say wherever you're living in other countries in Central or South America, or you're living in the US or Canada, and you want to send money home, now you got to, before Bitcoin, you had to do wire transfers and all this extra money came in. Now you can just send it to a family member in Bitcoin. And now, because El Salvador is accepting it, so that family member in El Salvador can use it to pay rent, bills, whatever. The El Salvadorian government is genius in doing that, because now the El Salvadorian government is going to be people are going to be paying their taxes and whatever. So the El Salvadorian government's going to amass Bitcoin. So the El Salvadorian government will not be at the behest of the IMF. If IMF says, we're going to pull this money away and you better go to war, let us sanction, then they're going to go, sorry, we don't need it. El Salvador relies heavily on money sent back from workers abroad. World Bank data shows remittances to the country made up nearly $6 billion, or around a fifth of the GDP in 2019, one of the highest ratios in the world. So El Salvador, this is how brilliant this is. So somebody working abroad, wants to send $1,000. I'm just going to pick round numbers. Like, let's say there's somebody living in America legally, they're working, and they want to send $1,000 home. Well, that's going to end up being $800, $850. With all the fees, it's going to be a lot less. Bitcoin, to transfer that amount of money, it's going to cost a couple of bucks, $10, $15. So you're going to get the majority of that $1,000, which means people in El Salvador are going to be receiving more of the money because there's less fees in just sending Bitcoin. And then they get Bitcoin, and then they can use it all over El Salvador. The grocery store. It's going to lift people out of poverty in that country. That's the thing about that's. So when I hear Elon Musk and Bill Maher say stupid crap like that, they're obviously rich white guys that don't care about, the 2.5 billion unbanked people on this planet. They don't care about them. It will bring financial inclusion. This is what billionaires like Elon Musk don't want you to have. They don't want regular people to be included in their wealth. Investment, tourism, innovation, and economic development for our country. Let's break each one of these down. It's financial inclusion, right? Because, and we're going to get to it in a second, roughly 70% of the people in El Salvador don't have access to banks or traditional financial systems. That's the problem in developing and third world countries. People don't have banks. They can't get to banks. They don't have that kind of money. Well, they got a smartphone. Boom. You live in El Salvador, you have a family member living abroad, and they send money back. Bam, it's in your thing. Boom. You can go pay bills with it. So let's talk about this. Financial inclusion. So it's going to lift people out of poverty. Investment. So now, again, your family member sends you back, again, we're just going to use round numbers, $1,000 in Bitcoin, and you use whatever, $900 of that to pay bills, okay? And you go, this other 100, I'm going to keep that. And as Bitcoin keeps going up, I now have an investment portfolio. And in a developing country, a couple $1,000s is a lot of money, right? So now people, rather than just working to barely stay alive, just working to pay bills, they now have an investment portfolio. Oh, now these working class folks in El Salvador now have, they got 5, 10, 20 grand saved up. That's good. That's actually good for a society and good for an economy. It's not good for a total society, for a handful of wealthy people to own everything. It's not good. That's why Bitcoin is brilliant. Read the white paper. Tourism. Okay, I'm a Bitcoin holder. I want to go to El Salvador now, because now I can pay for my hotel. I can go down there, go out to dinner. I can go surfing. There's great surfing in El Salvador, I'm told. I've never been there. And I can use Bitcoin to pay for it? Okay. Cool. Let's say as an entertainer, let's say I go down there, some resort says, Graham, we want you to come down and perform because there's a bunch of Americans that come to this resort. I don't know if this happens, but this does happen to comedians. This has happened. I've heard of comics doing this. And the resort says, we'll pay you whatever, a couple $1,000s to perform. We can pay you in US dollars or Bitcoin. I'll say, give me Bitcoin. So all the Bitcoin holders out there in the world, the Bitcoin whales, the whomever, those shows that I watch, Crypto Casey, The Moon, BitBoy Crypto, Altcoin Daily, Max Kaiser, they're going to go down there now. innovation and economic development for our country. Again, if a bunch of people start to have money saved up in Bitcoin and they have an investment, financial inclusion and investment, then they're not just working to survive. Then they can develop the stuff. Then the government will have more money with Bitcoin. People will have more money. So, okay, let's make our country better. Better schools, better roads, better social services, better healthcare, all this stuff. 5-10 years, El Salvador is going to be a paradise. I just, it's setting itself up to do that. The use of Bitcoin will be optional for individuals and would not bring risks to users, Bukele said, with the government guaranteeing convertibility to dollars at the time of transaction. All right. So they're not saying you can't use dollars anymore. Okay. But so they're not excluding anybody. They're including people. So if you just want to go down there and pay for stuff with regular dollars like you normally have or whatever, you live down there and you've been paying stuff for dollars or your family sends you whatever, you can still do that. And if your family sends you Bitcoin, you can convert it to dollars and use that. Its use as legal tender will begin in 90 days with the Bitcoin dollar exchange rate set by the market. And what happened when this news? So Bitcoin we've been talking about it since Elon Musk and other people have been deliberately manipulating it. Elon tweets all this stuff. Oh, the Bitcoin symbol with the broken heart and Tesla's not going to suspend because of the environment, which was all bullshit. I debunked that. You saw those videos. Please watch those. I have a whole crypto playlist on YouTube. Check that out. Watch those videos. I debunked the whole Bitcoin's bad for the environment thing. That's been completely debunked. What happened in the last 24 hours when this news was announced? Oh, hey, look at that. Bitcoin jumped up almost 10%. This is just in the last day. This is a 24-hour cycle. So this is right before the announcement. Oh, look at that. The market will be now focused on adoption through El Salvador and whether other nations follow, said Richard Galvin of Crypto Fund Digital Asset Capital Management. This could be a key catalyst for Bitcoin over the next 2 to 3 years. Yes. You want to know why this is critical? Because I've said this before. Elon Musk and them, they were trying to get this price down to $20,000 or $25,000. But every time it got to $30,000, people kept buying the dip. And now that El Salvador is on board, other nations are going to do this, which is going to mean, and I'm glad I'm finally watching these crypto channels, because like 4 months ago they were like, "Oh, Elon Musk is so amazing. I'm going to buy a Tesla." And they're realizing how awful he is, and they're like done with him. Like, which I'm glad to see. Like BitBoy Ben is like, "I'm done with this guy. He's a piece of shit." Great, and now, hopefully, people will stop like Elon tweeted about Bitcoin. I'm selling or whatever. Now it's like, who cares what Elon Musk and Bill Maher say? Who cares what these dumb rich white guys that don't want you to acquire wealth and don't want you to? They don't want the people of El Salvador to get pulled out of poverty. They want them to be wage slaves because that's how they made their money. Elon Musk has made his money exploiting and extracting wealth and labor from people. Bitcoin doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. And there's all these new projects of clean mining, like green energy to fund the mines. So El Salvador is going to do this. I bet you a bunch of other Central and South American countries, their neighbors are going to start. You're going to hear about Panama and Costa Rica and Guatemala. You're going to start hearing that. And, Mexico should do it. All these countries that are getting sanctioned by the United States or affected by us, do that. This could be the key catalyst for Bitcoin over the next 2 to 3 years. What did Max Kaiser say when he was on this show? You can't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. They can't stop it. It's going to become the world's reserve currency because more countries are going to do this. And countries that try to regulate it and tax it like America and control it, other countries are going to go, hey, business owners, hey, come live here. We take care of crypto investors. We don't tax you, just you can live here in peace and we'll be taken care of. There's not all this heavy regulation. And you're going to start to see, then they're going to bring in all this wealth. I mean, countries are already waking up to this fact, I've talked about this, the digital nomad visas. I started looking into it last year when I was like, hey, I could do this show anywhere. And I'm watching America collapse. I was like, boy, I don't know. So these countries are realizing that, and countries really woke up to this, and people in general woke up to this during the pandemic because people were like, well, I'm working from home. I don't need to go to an office. Big companies are like, why are we spending all this money on big office space? Some people are like, I've been cooped up all year. I want to go back to seeing people in person, which I totally get. I started to go to in-person yoga classes and I'm like, man, I missed this. Just doing yoga in my apartment was getting old, watching videos all the time. But the digital nomad visas, and there's a lot of countries already like Colombia, they have really fast internet and they have digital nomad visas. Like you can come live here. Italy's doing this. You can live here because if you work online, you work remotely, you're not taking a local person's job. You're actually infusing money into the economy. So I think now there's going to be a trend of not only these digital nomad visas, it's going to be then these countries are going to go, well, shit, if we adopt Bitcoin and we got good internet, and now because we've made Bitcoin our legal tender and our reserve currency for our government, now our country, you're going to see El Salvador is going to become great. People are going to love it. Like Costa Rica has a really, it's a beautiful country. They've got good health care. They've got great environmental policy. They have no military. They're literally called the Switzerland of Central America, of Latin America, really. And a lot of Americans have gone and moved down there and retired down there because it's great. Land is cheap. People are nice. Cost of living is low. And they've infused all this money into the country. And El Salvador, that's going to start happening in El Salvador now. I mean, look, here's just a photo. This is just a little market. Bitcoin. We accept Bitcoin here. Look at this. This is just, and these little markets in Central and South America are all over the place. Go in there, buy bottled water, chips, whatever. Oh, they take Bitcoin. Aceptamos Bitcoin. My Spanish is not great. Paga aquí con Bitcoin. Pay here, Bitcoin. Buchel says some 70% of people in El Salvador lack access to traditional financial services. Not anymore. Not anymore. Because you have Bitcoin, you start amassing Bitcoin, you start getting paid in Bitcoin. I mean, there's already a Bitcoin IRA out there. It's a retirement thing. And I've talked about these companies that I have affiliate codes with. They're in the show notes. Crypto.com, BlockFi.com. They're starting to offer credit cards, debit cards that pay you rewards in Bitcoin. They're starting to be able to borrow money against it. Like if you amass a big amount of Bitcoin and you don't want to cash it out and pay capital gains tax, you can take a line of credit against it, like a home equity line of credit. Let's say you have a house and it's got, $100,000 in equity. You can take a line of credit against probably up to 50% of the value, right? And that's what BlockFi is doing. So it's people that will never, without Bitcoin, most people, 70% of El Salvadorians would never have access to this kind of stuff. Oh, getting a business line of credit, start a little business, buy a home, buy a little, let's say you own a little home and you have a little equity in it and you want to, whatever, turn the garage into a studio apartment to rent out. So now that becomes an income generating property. That's not, that you don't have to be crazy rich to do that. And that's just regular working class people can do stuff like that if they have access to traditional financial services. And you can't get loans unless you have some assets or equity. No bank's going to just give you a loan if they don't think you can pay it back. So now people are going to have Bitcoin. Do you see how this works? Or you can be a dumb crybaby like Elon Musk. I think this is a real billboard. Kami on the res. I don't know who this person is. Spotted in the wild. I hate this MF place. Elon Musk. Defend billionaires. We're just like you. Is this a joke? I mean, this honestly feels like an Onion thing. He's awful. He doesn't want people out of poverty. He could end poverty. He's one of the richest guys in the world. Him and Bezos could end homelessness in America. End it. Done. End it. They could go to third world countries like El Salvador and just end it and fix any poverty. Just fix it overnight and give up a bunch of their money and still be flying around in private jets. But they don't care because they're awful, soulless pieces of shit. And you can never forget that. They're not cool. Oh, he makes cool cars. Teslas are cool. I'll never buy a Tesla. I'll never buy the Tesla solar panels. I'll never do that. I'll never give this guy any money. I don't want to ever help this guy in any way, shape, or form. I canceled my Amazon Prime subscription years ago. I don't want to help that guy out. I don't want to help that guy out. So El Salvador has just changed everything. And now it's a matter of time. Mark my words. More countries are going to do this. They're going to realize this is going to get us out of there. They're going to get out of the trap and the basically strong arm mafia tactics of the IMF, which strong arms smaller countries like that. And these countries are going to say, nope, nope, nope. And you're going to have crypto owners, Bitcoin owners going, oh, I'm going to move my business to El Salvador or these other countries. That's what's going to happen. So do your own research. Make your own choices. Don't invest money you can't afford to lose. You know, they recommend 5 to 10% of your assets in Bitcoin, but El Salvador is going to do this. Miami's doing this. Maybe your town can do it. Maybe your country can do it. If you live in America, it's doubtful. But if you live in another country, they might do this. So it's exciting. It's a bit of bright news. You know, and it also, the people like Elon Musk and some of the Bitcoin whales, this takes the power out of their hands from manipulating the price. The more people that buy Bitcoin, the less the whales can manipulate the price. And the more countries that adopt this, like El Salvador, the more the price is going to go up. Thanks for watching the show. Follow the money, connect the dots, find the truth, folks. That's how we make Gotham great again. And that's why you are all political vigilantes. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom! Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.